So it seems like the patch that we got yesterday, that of course was essentially a small patch but made one huge difference, that was basically now being able to break a glass door as Captain America, but just the patch in general seems to have made a lot of people happy. I mean, the community has genuinely shifted their opinions, so we're going to be talking about that stuff in this video because we've actually got some really interesting things to point out in terms of the future for this game, i.e. the near future and long term as well. But I want you guys to let me know in the comments below, how do you feel about the patch yesterday? Are you feeling like the game is now a whole lot more playable? Because a lot of people that I'm saying now are basically saying that matchmaking is more or less resolved on console now. Apparently on PC there's still a slight problem, but you are able to matchmake. It does just take a little bit of time, but again, leave your thoughts on that in the comments below. And hey, if you're new to the channel, go ahead and click that big red subscribe button below. It has been proven to make you a much better human being. And of course, if you could drop a like, if we could smash 9 likes, that would be very cool. Now, to kick this video off, I actually saw something that is, I guess, kind of off topic to what we're meant to be talking about, but I wanted to share it because it's for the loading screen in this game. So somebody in the mythical lands of Reddit essentially done, I guess, like a few mock-ups of ideas. So what I'm going to do is link the original post for this in the description below so you can see all the other ones, but it's just the menu screen, right? And what he said is that, well, he or she said is that they just don't like the current menu screen, and I think just seeing this variety kind of got me thinking it'd be really cool if they did change this. Now again, it's not like a major thing on my list, but it's just a small feature that I think would actually be really cool, possibly in like another update or of course on the next gen consoles. But diving into what I actually want to talk about, so of course the update we got yesterday, I want to kick it off with the first thing that was posted in the mythical lands of Reddit on the Play Avengers Reddit page. So what it says is that this latest patch is a massive step in the right direction and gives me faith that in time the devs can deliver something truly amazing. Now of course it got a ton of votes, right, in terms of, I guess, upvotes, and it's really cool to see this because this person continued to say, yes, there are still issues and a lot of bugs that need fixing, but the fact that the community asked for changes to Cap and these were implemented pretty quick is a very good sign. The free resources as a sigh of goodwill due to sticking with it through the issues. The improved shield charge / bash alone makes Cap's gameplay so much more fun, and I really hope that the developers stick on this path as it makes the future seem a whole lot more promising. Now the reason why I wanted to just bring up this first post is myself included, of course it's safe to say we did kind of like hit a brick wall with the game, and it felt like there were way too many bugs in this game despite of course the updates being made. When you lose things in the game it's super frustrating, but when you actually go in comparison to, you know, games like it's being compared to, such as Anthem, and I've never played Anthem, but going back and kind of digging up on how that game went down, it's super cool to see how these devs are actually kind of being a whole lot quicker. So we are getting these major fixes in the first month, which I keep saying I think is so important because next month, don't forget, we're getting our first DLC character. So with that in mind, you can't of course release a DLC character and there's just a ton of bugs in the game. So I think that these basic yet super effective, I guess, updates have been made is really cool to see. And you guys know we did the Avengers game show as well. I'm hoping we do see one feature get added from that, but nonetheless it's a great sign that the devs are listening, but the community are just basically being happy with this. I think it's super cool to see because it goes on to the next thing I wanted to point out, where someone has actually done another post regarding the update, but again now discussing how traversal will work in the future. And there's a few good ideas in here, so what I wanted to do is just read it out and get all your opinions on it. So what it says is, I've seen many posts and comment about traversal of each character, and I just wanted to give my perspective. I know that heroes like Thor or Iron Man, for example, are slowed down so that others can keep up for the game balance, but on the other hand I feel like that doesn't have to be the case. I don't know if movement system will need a revamp, but I don't think characters should be forced into a certain speed for others to stay on them the whole time. For example, Hulk could have the option to switch between 2 or 3 types of jumps, like how Iron Man and Black Widow switch between weapons. Current jumps indoors like charge jump and super jump outdoors, I can see if this takes intrinsic being that it's a super jump, but heroes like Thor, Iron Man and Hulk could pick other heroes up and get them to the destinations faster. I just want to quickly stop it there before people just start freaking out in the comments. This is, I personally don't think, like, I mean it would be funny, but I couldn't see that actually working, but nonetheless it's an idea of this person, so we still gotta respect that. But he did definitely bring out a good point, which is faster running for Captain America, of course, in terms of right now the way he runs is too slow. An upgrade system for movement similar to Saints Row could actually be interesting to see as we are getting future skills and level caps. If and when we do get better traversal for our characters, I hope it doesn't cost intrinsic bars, because I see that as anti-fun, similar to the spin drone argument. Instead, let us enjoy moving around how the heroes are supposed to. And just to quickly pause it there, one thing I do have to say that definitely needs to be updated, hopefully in the near future, is just the way our movement is in the helicarrier. I think being able to jump in it is actually super crucial, but again, leave your thoughts on that stuff in the comments below. But going on to what it basically says, it says, personally, when I play as Widow or Camilla, I don't mind seeing Thor and Iron Man fly past, because I know that they run faster than him. It gives them time to scout the area ahead and dismantle enemy turrets and pummel positions from the sky, so when I arrive a few seconds later, I can clean up the enemy on the ground. Having the characters feel different in traversal is just as important as having them feel different in combat. In LEGO Avengers, the heroes have speeds expected of them, and I didn't hear any complaints about Widow getting left behind, etc. And he does say, correct me if I'm wrong, it's been a while since I played it. Then he continues to say that Hulk has a great super jump, Iron Man can blast through the sky with his thrusters, and Thor can burst through the sky with, of course, the hammer. So that's really cool. And then the last thing, of course, is basically going on to Hulk again, saying Hulk's jump is a big topic in terms of traversal. I had an idea that can help him. Aside from the charge jump, which I think he needs, he could maybe toggle jumps like Iron Man and Black Widow do for their weapons. His current jump could be more viable indoors, even though it's a little high for some indoor areas, and we could use a charge jump and or a super jump outside, depending on what the player wants to use. I think we can all agree that Cap needs a much faster run, no question. In terms of Widow and Kamala, I think you guys have better ideas for that. And again, he essentially just goes on to bringing up things that we've spoke about before, like bringing up motorcycles and different forms of transportation. And this is something that I did say a while back, and it would actually work, because if you go back to the comic days, these do actually exist. And having things like Captain America have an Iron Man, and all these characters that, you know, Captain America having an Iron Man, I mean, like Captain America having a motorbike, for example, would be super important. And I think maybe just for all the characters that are basically grounded, I think having some type of, I guess, travel like that to essentially match speeds, especially if you're playing online, would definitely be really interesting. But guys, leave your thoughts on that. That's going to wrap up this video here. I wanted to share it because it's great to see, I guess, how happy the community is right now, and all these ideas as well for future patches. So let me know your thoughts on this in the comments below. I'll see you in the next one. Until then, have yourselves a ridiculously amazing day, and adios amigos.